A turbulence scare at 30,000 feet, a sudden 300-foot plunge, 24 people injured, 17 of them seriously injured, and now a shocking twist in the Air India flight scare. The pilot in command of the Phuket-Delhi flight has reportedly tested positive for marijuana in a confirmatory drug test. This is the second dope test. It's come out positive yet again. The development comes days after the flight AI-2379 suddenly lost altitude during its cruise, leaving passengers and crew injured. We've given you the number as well. And here's the big question tonight. Was this just turbulence or was something more at play? Because investigators are also looking into string of reported technical glitches, hydraulic systems that went awry on board. The Air India Phuket-Delhi flight scare has taken a dramatic new turn. The pilot who was flying the aircraft when it suddenly dropped and plunged 300 feet has reportedly tested positive for marijuana. And this is the second dope test that was conducted. Sources say the pilot in command's preliminary drug screening had returned a result requiring further analysis. His sample was then sent to a designated laboratory for a confirmatory test, and that test has now reportedly come back positive for marijuana. Both pilots had undergone mandatory psychoactive substance screening after the incident. Whilst the co-pilot's test did not raise a similar concern, the pilot in command's sample was flagged for further testing. That's a major development, a shocking turn in this turbulent story. Should we blame the pilot or should we blame the technical snags and glitches? Both pilots have since been taken off the flying roster, likely so, pending further investigation. But the second dope test not auguring well for the pilot in command. Authorities are stressing one test result alone does not explain what happened inside the aircraft. Okay, fine, we'll believe that. But the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau has cautioned against drawing conclusions from any isolated piece of information. Investigators are examining the entire sequence of events, including the technical operations, the medical and the human factors. And that is where the Air India flight scare gets even more complicated. Flight AI-2379 was carrying 137 passengers and 8 crew when it suddenly experienced an altitude variation of around 300 feet during cruise on the 4th of August. 20 passengers and 4 cabin crew members were injured, 17 of them grievously injured. The aircraft eventually stabilized and landed safely in Delhi, but investigators are also probing reports of multiple technical anomalies. Sources have claimed the aircraft experienced an autopilot disconnect, hydraulic issues and other technical glitches. The co-pilot reportedly took manual control after the autopilot disconnected. A stall warning and flight control messages were also reportedly recorded. So investigators are looking at two parallel lines of inquiry here. Was the sudden altitude loss linked to turbulence? Were there technical failures on the aircraft? And what role, if any, could the pilot's medical or drug test findings have played? The AAIB is now examining flight data, aircraft systems, maintenance records, medical information, and the crew's accounts. France BEA and Airbus technical representatives are also assisting in this investigation. Meanwhile, the government has stepped up scrutiny of Air India. Outgoing Air India CEO Campbell Wilson was summoned to the Civil Aviation Ministry over the incident and broader safety concerns involving the airline. And for now, the crucial question remains unanswered. What exactly caused an Air India aircraft to suddenly plunge 300 feet? The drug test result has added a fresh layer to this entire probe, a fresh twist. But investigators will have to establish whether it had any connection to the incident or whether the answer lies in the reported technical problems on board. That's the situation we're dealing with right now. This is the fresh twist that we're looking at, where we've learned that the second dope test has come out positive for the pilot in command. The drug in question is marijuana. This is the Phuket-Delhi flight, AI-2379. Several of those passengers critically injured. Over 20 passengers, 4 crew members injured with that 300 feet plunge during cruise. 30,000 feet and suddenly you drop down 300 feet. People are talking about whether this is the pilot's fault because the pilot in command has now tested positive for marijuana, ladies and gentlemen. People were earlier discussing, and of course these are two parallel lines of inquiry. People were talking about whether this is a pilot's fault, this is human error, or this is a technical snag and glitch at play. But now with this new fresh marijuana positive news. Both pilots, needless to say, have been taken off the flying rosters. The outgoing CEO of Air India, Campbell Wilson, he was summoned to the ministry, and several unanswered questions here about the Phuket-Delhi Air India flight as the pilot tests positive for marijuana in the second dope test. Both pilots had undergone mandatory psychoactive substance screening after the August 4 incident. And whilst the co-pilot screening did not raise a similar concern, the initial test of the pilot in command returned with a result, quote-unquote, requiring further analysis. Some of those in-cabin pictures on your screens as well. Some of those cockpit external footage of the pilot. People who were grievously injured, take a look at it for yourselves. A bashed up eye, a bruised up elbow. 300 feet plunge at 30,000 feet is not a small deal. It's a major ordeal, ladies and gentlemen. And now the pilot at hand, the pilot in question, the pilot in command rather. The dope test suggests he was under the influence of marijuana. Visuals speak for themselves for what all happened inside the cabin on that fateful flight. Thankfully, no casualties, but grievous injuries on that flight as well. Marijuana positive in the second dope test. Stretchers, wheelchairs, the cabin luggage doors, the brackets falling off. It was complete turmoil on this flight. People's heads getting banged with the infrastructure of the flight, with the seats, and it can get dangerous. Now, there's the pilot's body that's come out in defense of the pilots, saying that there were lots of technical snags. Pilots have to work for hours on end beyond their actual roster timings. But a second dope test coming in positive for the use and influence of marijuana, needless to say, changes the dynamics and the paradigm of the story. Changes how one will have to look at this story. Changes the interrogative analysis of this story as well. Hydraulic systems were being blamed. Technical snags and glitches were being blamed. Lots of dirty blame game at play. But the two pilots that have now been de-rostered, one of them, the main pilot, the captain, the pilot in command, the second dope test has now come out positive for the use of marijuana. My colleague Kumar Kundan joins us on the broadcast with more details. Kundan, सबसे पहले इस पूरे मामले में अगर बात की जाए और समझा जाए कि ऑफिशियल सोर्सेस से क्या-क्या कंफर्म हो चुका है, सेकंड डोप टेस्ट मैरिजुआना के लिए पॉजिटिव, पूरी स्टोरी पलट चुकी है अब.
Yes, one thing is very much clear, Kabir, that the pilot dope test has been positive second times. First time it was not confirmed because they have already sent for second test. So now we are getting the information from the sources that second test is completely positive, and now the official statement we are waiting for DGCA, that what DGCA confirms. Kabir.
So we're essentially waiting for the DGCA official statement, but how credible are these sources? How credible is this information at this point in time? Because Kundan, we know that there were two different parallel inquiries that were going on. One was about the technical snags of the plane, and the other one was about the human error. But now it seems that human error angle could become stronger with this new piece of information.
Kabir, actually our sources has confirmed that in his urine sample, the drug substance that's called marijuana found. And as far as his psychoactive substance that we are talking about, marijuana, it was found in his urine. So completely, as far as this second test is concerned, the test concerned is completely positive. And now government officials are not confirming this news. But as far as our source is concerned, this news is 100% confirmed. And now we are officially waiting for government. What exactly government said? Because government earlier press release said that we are taking all the necessary action and we are waiting for the official confirmation from different source and with different labs, and they are basically waiting for the official confirmation. But now, as far as our source is concerned, everything is confirmed. Now it's up to government, it's up to DGCA, what kind of decision they are taking. But one or two things I just wanted to clarify, Kabir. First thing, as far as marijuana is concerned, in Phuket it's legal. First thing. Second thing, as far as my source is concerned, if you are taking marijuana, it reflects in your body next 3 to 4 days. It doesn't mean that, when you are in flying, then you have to be careful about these things. So, what was the substance and what was the, how much amount of this marijuana taken by the pilot, it's not revealed yet. So, we are officially waiting for official confirmation for DGCA, and what was the connection of taking marijuana and flying. Both are the different thing. So basically we are completely waiting for the DGCA order.
I absolutely agree. I think you've made a very credible point over here, Kumar Kundan, that it could be the remnants of the psychoactive substance, but we'll have to again go through the actual rules. Are you even supposed to have, consumed this drug even recreationally, like you're suggesting it's legal in Phuket in Thailand? Is that even allowed for these pilots even 3 to 4 days before they're supposed to go on their sector? That's a completely different thing. Let's quickly help the viewers refresh their memories as to what all has happened. We know that more than 20 people got injured. Some of the crew people got injured. Some of them got grievously injured. They're getting treatment at various hospitals. And today at the DGCA, at the Ministry of Civil Aviation, the outgoing CEO of Air India, Campbell Wilson, was also, summoned. What kind of questioning happened? Do we have any information on that front, Kumar?
Actually, as far as Air India's CEO is concerned, it was basically about the administrative and other part. Nothing related to much about this aircraft and pilot issue, as far as our source of information is concerned. But yes, it's all about timing. When CEO is going to meet, officers, and the timing is crucial, like AI flight coming from Phuket to Delhi, and it was badly interrupted into turbulence. And the as far as pilot is concerned, he is in the middle of the, he is basically questioning, everybody is questioning about his credibility. So in this whole circumstances, the meeting was crucial. But yes, as far as our source is concerned and as far as government source is concerned, it was routine meeting. But yes, again, Kabir, it was completely timing issue, that what is happening and what happened, both is different thing.
Absolutely. Before I let you go, Kumar, one final question. Of course, there are several questions that need to be answered about whether this incident raises questions about the effectiveness of the current pilot and the drug testing system. How frequently are commercial pilots tested for drugs? All of those questions will, they will be answered in the days to come. This is going to be, needless to say, a big headline in the hours to come. But before I let you go, one thing is that we're waiting for an official statement from the Ministry of Civil Aviation. And what else can the viewers and the people out there wait for? What are some of those prime questions that now need to be answered here, Kundan?
There are 2 to 3 things which needs to be rectified. First thing, as far as this medical test is concerned, it's a random testing process. Kabir, suppose somebody is flying from Chennai, somebody is flying from Mumbai, somebody is flying from different area. So this is a routine process of 10% of every flyers. The DGCA used to go for the this is a mandatory 10% pilot medical test. But in this situation, as far as this pilot is concerned, since the turbulence happened and everything was in bad shape, so this pilot has to go for mandatory medical circumstances. And for this for this medical test, he found positive. Second thing, as far as apart from this pilot issue, there is a issue about technical glitch in aircraft also. Just, I mean, it's a rumor or all about sources information. Then there was some problem in there was some hydrological hydraulical issue in pilot in that aircraft. So we are not confirmed about it, but yes, there is a whisper about this technical glitch also. So let it be confirmed by authority or somebody else, because the DGCA has already set up the high level inquiry about these things. So as far as aircraft is concerned, as far as pilot is concerned, everything is on source based information. But yes, there was some problem, there was some glitches.
Understood.
But what was exactly this?
I think we'll have to wait and find out as to what really happens.
Pilot is concerned, we have already
parallel inquiries that are underway. The BEA has come in. Airbus is now helping with this investigation. The AAIB is also doing their own job. The Ministry of Civil Aviation, their official statement is something that we're going to have to wait for. But this new second dope test coming positive for marijuana has certainly made things far more interesting, and a lot many questions that have now come to the fore as well. Kundan Kumar, ladies and gentlemen, bringing us the latest details. Many thanks, Kundan, for helping us out with those particular details. Let's hope for good sense to prevail when we're talking about, you know, this investigation on end. And the second dope test, did that really impact the captain and the pilot in command's capability to fly the plane? That is one big